Hey there, thank you for joining me for another episode of Total Ramblings. It's Sunday, the 25th of May 2025, and I realise it's been about a week at least since I did a life update. Hey, you can look out the window. So anyway, last week I actually managed to do all of my outside gardening work. So would you like to see a time lapse of that? In other news, on Friday, the drying company came out and the drying equipment has gone. Yes, I no longer feel like I have a factory, an industrial shipyard or something going in my utility shower area. So now, I believe, in theory, it's just a case of reinstalling all of this. So we are, again, one step closer. Also, I had a visit from a loss adjuster lady. Her name was Jasmine, and she was lovely, and I fell in love with her a little bit because I'm quite sad and lonely at the moment, if I'm honest with you. I don't get to talk to people very often, and actually having somebody in my house to talk to was a bit of a novelty. The only person that used to come round fairly regularly was Siobhan, and in the last year of her life I completely cut her off because of what was happening with Liz, and now she's gone, never to return, and probably thought I was very rude. So having somebody in the house to talk to was quite nice. Anyway, I'm trying to argue with my insurance company that I don't have 4 excesses to pay of £500 a piece. I only have one because I only have one leak. Anyway, I think the only bit in contention as far as I'm concerned really is the lino floor in the kitchen. I believe works have been authorised to the utility room and the downstairs shower. But I just want to get that lino replaced in my very tired old kitchen. See, I was going to have the kitchen done, but then Liz fell ill, and we diverted the funds instead to having the bathroom done and the downstairs shower room added. Also, I've had a quote for reinstating my 4 radiators that got disengaged as a result of these pipework problems. And I rang British Gas, and it turns out I'm covered by them. So they're going to send someone out to look at what needs to be done. In case this turns out to be a total lie, I am, of course, keeping the details of the other plumbers, but getting those radiators reinstated is also on my list of things to do. So, there you go. Now, today, it's quite an exciting day because I'm going to see Liz early, and then we are taking a minibus to Liz's mum's house, and we're all going to have dinner there. And this will be the first time in at least a year that my entire family has been in one place under one roof at the same time. That's quite an event. Then I'm going to take the minibus back, help Liz get to bed, and then I'm going to come home. So quite a long day. Tomorrow is a bank holiday here in the UK. So that's what we're doing. So I thought maybe rather than looking at my face, you'd like to get some pictures of the beautiful English countryside as we drive to Hazelmere from Basingstoke. It's very green. As Ray would say from that strange fan fiction film to do with Star Wars, I never thought there was this much green in the whole galaxy. Sorry, that was a cheap shot. Anyway, I had lots of strange dreams last night. I can't really describe them. Just the sort of dreams, though, that, you know, you wake up from and you go back to sleep and you're straight back into the same dream, and it's bloody irritating when that happens. You'd think there should be like a reset button or something, you know? That, you know, waking up and going back to sleep should reset the dream from afresh. Because sometimes there are dreams that you want to go back to and you never can, and you try and force the issue by thinking of it, and then you kind of go off on a tangent, which is maybe how that dream was going to go anyway. But I have these incredibly sort of technical, detail-oriented dreams, either when I've got stuff on my mind or I'm not feeling too well, and you sort of wake up, you think, oh, thank God for that, and then you go back to sleep and you're straight back into the same scenario again, and it was just annoying, really. Yeah, so anyway, there you go. Lots of green. We are driving on the A339 near Alton in England. It's not a bad drive. It's quite a pleasant drive, really, all told. This bit of road in particular is very nice. Doesn't have too many bumps or potholes. In fact, there's a few miles stretch of this road that's never been dug up at all, which I'm sure somebody will correct at some point. Probably an oversight. There's probably some sort of mandatory requirement to have trenches and potholes and bumps, a few, maybe a few dozen every 100 meters or something like that. I've no doubt that other parts of the road will make up for this deficiency, but this theory has only just occurred to me, by the way. Quite a lot of what I talk to you about in these vlogs are thoughts that just occurred to me as I'm saying them, and I don't know that I'm going to say them. And it's just as much a surprise for me when this crap comes out of my mouth that it is for everybody else. And I think you'll agree with me. A lovely smooth bit of road here. I'm going to keep talking until we get to the first trench or pothole. I mean, this is as a road should be. All roads should be like this, lovely and smooth, with no roadworks in them. I mean, yeah, this is beautiful, man. It's level, it's clean, it's not an overly noisy bit of road. It's well maintained. It's got to be a mistake. It's got to be a mistake. It must be. We've got the occasional join line, but I mean, that's okay. They can't build the thing all at once. This field to the left here, for some reason I've got this desire to fly a drone over there, and I don't really know why. I'm not getting out much to fly drones lately, and it's partly because I'm becoming a bit agoraphobic, and also I'm scared to leave the house because every time I leave the house I feel like someone wants to put their hand in my wallet and take my money. You know, getting bloody bus lane infringement tickets and stuff like that. It's just ridiculous, really. And then getting insurance companies wanting me to pay £2,000 by the way of excesses when, you know, there's a lump. £500 is, you know, all I should be paying. So that was a bump there in the road. Of course, as is traditional year, the bumps have to happen right where my left tyres hit. Basically, there's some kind of government regulation or mandate or bylaw possibly that says any holes you dig in the road have to intersect with a car's left tyres so that basically they wear down quicker. And the problem I've got is that my front left tyre, my near side front tyre, for those who are technically minded, because we are left-hand drive here, so it's nearest the curb, it's got a very, 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 very slow puncture in it. So, for example, it's my other tyres, front right, and my two rears are both at 2.6, and my front left is at 2.3, despite me having pumped it up to 2.8 about 2 weeks ago. And it goes down very, very slowly, and it's been doing this for at least 6 months. And this is even bearing in mind I've had the front tyres replaced. So it's not a tyre problem. There's something going on. And I think impacting potholes precisely where the left tyres intersect the road probably isn't helping, because it's taking, see, there's another one. It's taking all of the impact. You're going slam into that pothole, and of course you're trying to steer at the same time. And I just think that front left tyre is getting all the abuse imaginable, because there is some kind of law or regulation that requires roadworks or potholes to intersect with the left-hand tyre of a car. Now, if there's another theory that anyone's got, I'd be interested to hear it, but this is borne out over thousands and thousands of miles of driving in this country, that it's like, for example, drain covers, right? So we have to have a drain, a manhole access for underground drains whenever there's like a change in direction or an intersection, in case of blockages, so that somebody can get down there and clear the blockage. What I don't understand is why drains and drain coverings also apparently have to be right where the left-hand tyre of my car drives. Why can't they be in the middle of the road? Well, not in the middle of the road, but why can't they be between the two axles, between the left-hand and the right-hand tyres is what I'm saying. Why can't drain covers be there so that we just glide over them? Why do we have to twat them with our wheels every single time? What's going on? It's very poor design, and I have to say, that was a Rolls Royce. I have to say, if I was going to redesign this country from scratch, then that would be one of my fundamental rules. Another fundamental rule would be that barcodes are on the bottom of every single piece of merchandise ever sold. If the supermarkets are going to insist that we must scan our own shopping at the self-service checkout, unexpected item in the bagging area, if they're going to insist that we do that, then I want the barcodes in a consistent place, and that is at the bottom, always at the bottom. If we're talking about a big item like a pizza, I would say at the bottom, top left of the box, so that basically you develop like a muscle memory of where these barcodes are going to be, and you don't have to spin the item 360 degrees in every conceivable angle to find the fucking barcode. Here's another thing, not a rant this time, I promise, I've got 3 new subscribers since I uploaded my last Doctor Who video. And I don't know if my 3 new subscribers are going to be watching this video or whether they're just here for the Doctor Who content. I don't mind either way. But if you do happen to watch this, and if you are a new subscriber, hello. If you're not a new subscriber, and that doesn't really make sense. If you're not a subscriber and you just happen to be watching this, please consider subscribing, because I'd really like to get to 500 subscribers. That would be nice. Just because it's a nice round number, really. So, you know, maybe follow the advice here on this magic tree. Subliminal messaging, you see. You know, I talk a load of rubbish on this channel, but I do also do reviews and Doctor Who stuff and other things. And, you know, I don't think my views are totally invalid. You might not agree with them, of course, which is absolutely fine, because not everybody is the same. But I'd like to think that maybe with my knowledge and history of Doctor Who, I've got something vaguely interesting to say. The problem is that I'm old now. I'm going to be 54 next month, and I have forgotten more Doctor Who than I actually remember. I used to live, breathe, and exist in the world of Doctor Who. So obviously Target books were my gateway into Doctor Who, because we didn't have VHS or DVD or Blu-ray or even very many repeats when I was a child. So the only way of reliving these stories was with the Target books. And I remember every morning, every single morning, I would look at my Target library and I would select 2 Target books to take to school, and I would read them both in a day. And I would, you know, obviously these are rereads, you know, I would be like, oh, today I fancy a Doctor Who story where the Doctor starts off in one place and then goes to another, and that book might be Pyramids of Mars, for example. You know, a kind of randomness like that. Or today I might want to read a historical. That never happened, by the way. I hate the historicals, but anyway, you get the point, right? Or today I feel like a Pertwee, or I feel like a Dalek book, or, you know, and obviously these books I would just reread all the time, right? And I would read 2 a day. I would usually read 1 at lunchtime. I would read 1 on the bus to and from school. I would read, you know, during break times. I mean, I used to work in the school library, basically, rather than go outside or do sporty crap, you know. I was your typical geek nerd, but before it was cool, right? I was a geek and a nerd back in the day when we would get picked on by, you know, I guess in the US you'd call them jocks, right? But these people who seem to think that being good at sport is a good way of getting through life, when in fact it's not. Learning is your best way of getting through life, and being a geek and a nerd was probably the best thing to do. But anyway, it is turning into a rant now, isn't it? I'm very sorry. But anyway, I can't remember the point I was trying to make. Yeah, the point I was trying to make is that I used to live, breathe, and exist in Doctor Who, and I have forgotten so much about Doctor Who. I used to be the sort of kid that I would see something in the street or on the TV and I would say, and I would think of a link to Doctor Who. It might be an actor, it might be, he was in an episode of Doctor Who, or he was in a Doctor Who story, or I would see a fact about, I don't know, the gold, for example, and I would say, yes, gold's quite a soft metal, and I would start quoting things from, you know, Doctor Who stories like Revenge of the Cybermen, for example, and stuff like that. And there are certain songs that come on the radio that will make me think of Doctor Who stories. And it's weird, because I would have been listening to those, reading a Doctor Who Target book when that song was on the radio on repeat. So yeah, just kind of, yeah. But so anyway, the point I was making was, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so, because I try and have a bit of varied content. I do need to get one of the drones out and fly it, but unfortunately it's quite windy today. I do have one in the boot of the car,
I've usually got one of the drones in the boot of the car. I'd really like to buy like the Mavic 4 or something with the old LiDAR sensors and all the rest of it, but I don't get to fly at all much really, because I tend to bed rot at the moment because, you know, so anyway, thanks for subscribing. Sorry for rambling on, but this is Total Ramblings, the clue's in the title. And yeah, interesting. I picked up 3 subscribers in a day. That's very, very rare for me. So thanks. Hello.
Hello.
Say hello to the boys and girls.
Hello, boys and girls.
Wave to the boys and girls. Tell the boys and girls what we're doing today.
We're going out.
Where are we going?
We're going to my mummy's.
Why?
I want food.
Do they not have food here?
No.
Ever?
No.
So you've been here a year and you've never been fed?
Yeah.
Wow.
10 months.
A year, nearly.
July.
Yeah.
Not yet. 10 months.
11 months.
11 months.
Okay, now what are we doing at your mummy's house?
Eating.
Eating what?
Food.
Would you like to elaborate?
Roast dinner.
Okay. Now how are we getting there?
Walking.
We're walking to mum's house. If you're not going to be sensible, then I'm going to stop interviewing you.
Okay. We're going in the minibus.
When?
At 11:30.
18 of your Earth minutes.
Yes. Which is why I can't talk for long, because I need to go for a wee.
Don't do that then.
In a minute. When you're finished.
Well, we've done, haven't we?
Okay.
You're being silly. You're demob happy. Wave goodbye to the boys and girls.
Goodbye, boys and girls.
This is all the stuff we have to take with us.
Plus 2 wheelchairs. 1 wheelchair for travelling in the minibus because it's got a headrest in case we have an accident, and another wheelchair for moving Liz around once we get to her mum's house, which is her own wheelchair, which was her dad's wheelchair, but basically that's her own property.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay.
Do you have a cough?
Uh,
You have a cough.
yes.
Are you okay? Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. Say hello.
Hello.
You've just had a service, haven't you?
I have just had 2 suctions, and I've done some aerobica and some percussion
And you had a dressing change.
and a dressing change.
But we had a nice journey here, didn't we?
Yes, I did lots of coughing.
And you didn't die?
No, I did lots of coughing, no.
Yes.
Which is why the dressing needs changing.
And Anthony is over there.
Wave.
And we're just waiting for Alice now. And then that'll be all of us for the first time in bloody ages.
And John.
Yeah. Right. Hello, we're back now. Did you have a nice day?
Yes.
Is that all you've got to say?
I'm very tired.
Did you have enough to eat?
Yeah.
Did you fall asleep in the bus on the way home?
Kind of. Did you?
No. Looking after you.
I was drifting.
I'm not allowed to fall asleep.
Dozing in it.
I'm looking after you.
Doesn't make a difference.
Of course it does. Anything else you'd like to say?
Not really.
Okay.
It was a very nice day. The weather was nice. Nice company. Everybody was very friendly.
Okay. Bye-bye then.
Bye.
Right. 7 o'clock, dead on in the evening. I'm on the way home. I'll be home in about half an hour. Excuse me. It's been a very tiring day. I put Liz to bed. Made sure she was alright. I think she had a nice day. She seemed a bit down once we got back. I think she might have just been tired, but I don't know. I worry a lot. So, yeah. I'm probably going to call this video to an end now. If you're seeing this, then it's definitely drawing to an end. If you're not seeing this, then you'll never know. And it means that something will have happened between now and me putting this video together that means I would have recorded another bit, and that's the bit you'd be watching right now. So if you're watching this bit, yes, this is the end. So I'd like to thank you very much for, joining me for this episode of Total Ramblings. Please remember to do all the usual YouTubey stuff. Like, subscribe, comment, share, hate, unsubscribe, block me, mute me, comment about me, moan about me, whatever you want. Whatever you want. I'm easy, man. I'm easy. Yeah. So, I'll see you in the next episode. I got no idea what that's going to be about. No idea at all. Absolutely no idea at all what I'm going to be talking about in the next episode. So it's as much a surprise for you as it is for me. See ya.